it feels like to me, having worked in the recruitment industry in tech for such a long time, it feels like when I first started in recruitment, IT was still this team of people that sat in a basement, or they're in a porter cabin somewhere, and they kind of were just, oh yeah, well they're the IT guys, just leave them to it. And actually, over the last 20 years, it's come back to productivity of a business improvement, business change.
Yeah.
IT and tech has massively changed that, and and all of a sudden they're like, well, actually, we provide a heck of a lot of value here. And I think that IT has grown up massively in 20 years and come on so far. And it feels like data is a little bit like, not quite that extreme, but it's now like, oh, we can do that with data. Yeah, because tech has come on so much now. As you said, it's not just the big companies. It's not just, oh, we've got to have an Oracle database to do anything meaningful with data, or we have to have a really, really on-premise big SQL Server database. So actually, do you know what? Actually, we can do a lot now, and it's not going to cost us that much actually, because we can do it on demand, and it's just really easy to get hold of the data. Whereas years ago it was really, really hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that feeling.
Absolutely, yeah. And there's this big debate going on in organisations at the moment as to who owns data, because historically there's almost been the assumption that IT, well, they're the guys that own the data, and I think now that finance teams and HR teams are saying, hang on a minute, there's a huge amount of value in this data, and it's a real corporate asset. They're starting to take more ownership, and so what we're seeing is more more people being embedded with those technical skills in the business rather than in IT teams.
And that's probably, I guess, only going to increase as kind of managed services, so like cloud providers and stuff, take ownership of actually managing the servers and the actual kind of solution aspect. That's probably going to just play into the hands of that even more, with finance teams owning the data and actually the IT side being managed by cloud providers with probably a smaller IT interference.
And I think that follows on from the point around democratization, I guess.
Yeah.
So not only does the cloud and some of the self-service BI tools democratize and enable smaller businesses to do more, they actually enable business functions to take more ownership and to be able to do more for themselves. There'll always be a place for IT and data governance and security and all of these things still remain really, really important.
Yeah.
And obviously disaster recovery and all those kind of things that maybe the guys that sit in the business may not always think about. But I do think that the business is starting to get more autonomy, and that's a really